Hi, Cheryl here. Today's discussion will start in a few minutes, but I wanted to give you something extra, an intro, in other words, to today's discussion. Today I'm going to be talking to you about horses that are in heaven, but in honor of my beloved mother who passed away in 2020, I'd like to tell you how I first came to know about these horses. As a little girl, among the many stories my mother would tell, she would tell me about a time that a very favorite dress of hers came up missing. She loved this dress. Every time she wore the dress, she got highly complimented. So like any other girl, she grew to really love this dress. So it comes up missing, and she hunts for it and hunts for it for the longest. And she comes to the conclusion it was stolen. One night she had a dream, and in the dream she saw her dress hanging on a clothesline, blowing gently in the wind. Off to the right, off to the side, was a corral. There were horses, a white one, a red one, a black one, and a spotted one. And that's all she saw. She didn't know the Bible well, so that's all the vision of this dream was. She told it to her grandmother, and her grandmother said, "Woe unto whoever got your dress. It's the judgment of God." So these horses that we're going to talk about today, they are very significant. Woe unto the world regarding these horses. I'll see you in a minute. Hi, I'm Cheryl, and this is FYI Friday 15-minute Bible study. And I want to know today, can I just talk to you how I feel? It's still along the same lines of what this format is all about. And what it's about is making sure that you build your knowledge regarding the book of Revelation. I say, and I say it often, in order to understand the Bible, in order to understand the book of Revelation, period, you need to measure every scripture by a three-pronged ruler. Some things in the Bible is a metaphor. Some things is symbolism. Then there's dispensation and literal. Some things are literal. But you need to be able to decipher which is which. So today I want to talk to you about chapter 6, the first 4 verses. What it's talking about is the corral of heaven, that there's a horse stable. What I want to talk to you about and introduce to others, that there are some horses in heaven that has great significance. So John, the disciple, who was blessed to have the open vision, meaning that he saw these things, not while he was asleep, but in the spirit. So if you're new here, I want you to listen to some of the replays that have been said up to this point, so you'll know what that means in the spirit. So you'll know what it means, an open vision. So John, he got a glimpse into what's happening. So in chapter 5, we were talking about how no one was worthy in heaven, on the earth, under the earth, to open this scroll, this book, this book that's in heaven, that no man have seen the pages, don't know what's wrote inside or on. So there was nobody to worthy to open it or even to look at it. And John, in the last chapter in 5, told us that a lamb was in the midst of all the crowd that's around the throne. So this crowd, angels, innumerable number, a lamb steps out. What's so important about this? Well, it's symbolic. The lamb represents Jesus Christ. He's not an animal, right? But if you would take the time to study the Bible, to read it, you'll learn that back in the day that Jesus walked the earth, that his culture were very well known for sacrificing animals as different offerings. So the lamb, a baby sheep without spot or wrinkle, was the ultimate sacrifice. So that's why it's symbolic of Jesus Christ. So the lamb that John sees opens the book, but one seal at a time. So this first seal that he opens, when he opens the seal, the living creature, the first one, the one that looks like a lion, says to John, come. It's an invitation to come up closer so you can see what's happening. And when that happens, we're introduced to a white horse. A white horse that has a rider, and the rider has a bow, and the rider is given a crown. That's chapter 6 of Revelation, verse 2 that I'm speaking of. So, who is this person that's the rider of the white horse? Well, the one thing I want to clue you in, that the beast that looks like the face of a lion, Jesus is also known as the Lion of Judah. Again, symbolism. So that gives you a clue. Revelation chapter 19 verse 14 tells you that he who was on this white horse was followed behind by a great army that followed behind him in this conquering that is going to be taking place by the rider on the white horse. So as you read and study, you learn that he has a tattoo on his thigh, a name that no one knows. So you can learn for yourself scriptures. Don't ever take my word for it. Don't even take your pastor's word for it. Study for yourself. So Revelation chapter 6 verse 1 and 2 introduces a white horse that has a rider, that has a bow and a crown. Revelation 19 verse 14 gives you a clue that the armies of heaven followed behind him. Revelation verse 3 of chapter 6 tells us, then John saw the same Lamb break open the second seal. There's 7 seals, so this is the second one that's being broken. And then it tells us in that verse that the second living creature, this is one that looks like an ox. That's the one who told John, come. I want you to see what's happening. So John, in verse 4 of chapter 6, he sees that a second horse appears, one that is bright red, and he's bright red, and the rider of him is permitted to take peace out of the earth. Now, if you're somebody that don't keep up with the news, don't read things like that, then maybe you're in the dark about the spirit of murder. It looked like it's heightened on the earth. Have it always been around? Of course. People been killing people forever. But there's an increase. Well, this rider of the horse is permitted to take peace out of the earth. Now, what kind of peace are we talking about? Well, there's a superficial peace that people can give you when they say, Cheryl, it's all right, it's going to be okay, don't worry about it. Okay, calm down. But there's a peace that God gives, and peace is made of him. And real peace is everlasting. But he is letting us know that it's going to be removed from the earth. What's the security? Them who are lovers of the Lord, them who come to trust his word, them who said, listen, Lord, I'm yours and you're mine. That peace is never taken from you. He says, my peace I give to you and nobody can take it away. It passes all understanding. But that superficial peace that's in the earth, that's the peace that's going to be removed. And it says when it's removed, slaying of people is going to increase, right? It's going to increase. So whether you believe it or not, that these are the last days, that's up to you. You are not being forced to believe, not by me and not by God. Listen, He is such a loving God. He is such a gentleman. He wants you to learn of Him. He wants you to understand of His book. He wants you to willingly, gladly say, yes, Lord, I choose to believe. It's the same for me. I'm not trying to beat anybody down. I'm not trying to put any scare tactics into you or anything. At the end of the day, the proof, like in everything else, will be in the pudding. So today, I just wanted to stop by here and talk to you about chapter 1 through 4. No, verses 1 through 4 in chapter 6 of Revelation, that they're horses, the corral of heaven, and they have great significance. So I hope you come back next week because there's more horses to tell you about. I'm Cheryl, and this is FYI Friday 15-minute Bible study. The Lord loves you, and so do I. I hope to see you soon. Bye.
Hey, when I look at everything that God blessed me with, I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I'm honored, I'm grateful, I'm humbled, I'm thankful, I'm truly grateful. Hey, I went through the storm, I wandered around the wilderness, ran through muddy waters, I got stuck and tore my ligaments. I'm a product of the mountains and valleys, but in a spirit sense, God wrote the story, I came out of it a lyricist. Hey DJ, turn up the volume, I'm kicking knowledge. I ain't got a bachelor or doctorate, but I'm a scholar, alright. Proverbs speaking, psalms singing, I was crucified with Jesus' palms bleeding. All that see, I overcame the darkest night. Look to my right, look to my left, see God's hand at every step. Look to my woman, the sweetest gift. Then look again, she heaven sent. Look to my brethren, the vigilance. Look to my family, significant. Look at my progress, magnificent. Look at my conscience, it's innocent. Look at my hope, it's infinite. Look at my light, the second chance. Look at nature, his fingerprints. Look all around, the evidence, yeah. See, when I look at everything that God blessed me with, I'm grateful.